everybody, hope you are having a great weekend and a great sales weekend. I certainly am not. I'm gonna talk a little bit about what I did this weekend. I'm gonna share some information from a call that I was on with eBay. I'll get to that, and then I'm gonna show you what sold. And it's a pretty light weekend. I did have a couple offline sales, a couple local sales I will get to. So I'm going to start the weekend off. Friday night, my wife and I'm not actually sure, I'm pretty new to YouTube, so I'm not actually sure what I can talk about, what I can say. But let's just say my wife and I went on a little bit of a spiritual journey on Friday evening. And I had a little bit of an epiphany. I realized that I've been buying a lot lately, and I've been letting it kind of bleed into the common space of where we like our living room area. And so basically I spent a good part of Saturday kind of cleaning and organizing and setting some boundaries for myself. I think when you do what we do as resellers, we buy, we list, rinse, repeat. Sometimes we're buying more than we're able to list, and we can get buried pretty quick. So I made a conscious decision to not go out Saturday garage sailing. I actually didn't really see anything that I absolutely wanted to go out, so that kind of worked. And then I spent some time listing, but it was more like cleaning 70% and just like a good scrub down and getting stuff off that main level. I think it's very important to kind of set some boundaries, and I think it's almost like there's a space, I fill it with stuff. Like it's like I'm programmed to, it's like this is my art, right? You see an empty canvas, you just got to fill it with stuff that you got to list. And I think that setting some sort of boundaries is good. So with that being said, one of the books, so I called in eBay yesterday because I had a book that I had bought from that occult lot, that estate sale, and it's this book. I have to cover it up because this tiger has breasts. I don't know why. I'm guessing it was it's like an Egyptian god, goddess. But this book, the goddess Sekhmet. If you ever get a chance to find this book in the first edition, you're gonna have to, check online. The author's name is Robert Masters. It's a really expensive book. This book could be like $100 book. I see people, so even this edition is a good book to look for. And I didn't even know that when I called in to ask eBay. I know that they have, nudity, forbidden, anything sexual, anything sexually suggestive, which it can be in itself a broad category. So I wasn't even sure if I was able to list this book, and I was kind of like, okay, what do I do? Like, if I can't list it on eBay, I don't know where I'm going to sell this book at. Like, I sell comics that have nudity and manga that have nudity on a comic related site, but it has to be comic related. This is just a book. Like, the inside is just a book. So I call up eBay and I asked them. I created a draft, and I also covered the breasts with a little piece of paper, well, piece of cloth, I guess. So I called them and I'm like, hey, I got this book. It is not sexually suggestive in nature. It's just a book. There's no pictures inside. I go, but, well, and I'm just like, well, you look at it's in the drafts. So the lady was extremely helpful. Now, I don't quite understand exactly the rationale behind why she told me that I can list it. But she did tell me to do one thing. she said, you can list it, but in the item specifics, under the section where it says subject, you have to write the word nudes in there. Now, so it's in the category of antiquarian and collectible, I think is what it is. The book was written in 91, I think. And that actually leads me to a second question that I had asked them in 88. I wanted to know what actually classifies, how old a book has to be classified under the antiquarian and collectible category, because you have to, it's far more easier to list books in that category than it is under books and magazines, because under books and magazines you have to have the author, the title of the book, the language, and the ISBN number. So anything over 10 years old is considered antiquarian, which I thought, well, I was surprised by that. I would have thought it would have been anything over 20 years. So that's good to know. So anything over 10 years old, you can just list it as antiquarian and collectible, and you have to do less item specifics, which is less work. So getting back to, she's like listed in, either the book category or the, depending, she didn't know how old it was. And then I told her, and I'm like, so I can list it at antiquarian? She's like, yes. I'm like, all I had to do is write nudes in the subject line of the item specifics. She's like, yeah. I'm like, are you sure? I go, because I have the reference number. I have you on record saying that it's okay for me to sell this. And she was like, yes. So I'm covered. I thought that was pretty cool. I was almost certain that I was not going to be allowed to sell this. So that's a book to look out for. I'll show you one last time. The Goddess Sekhmet. And then another book that, when I was listing it, that you should be on the lookout for is France Bardon's The Key to the True Kabbalah. This is like, I've seen sales in the $100 to $200 range for this book. I was surprised. I do know that name for some reason. This name rings a bell. I guess I just didn't realize that his books were as desirable as they are. Okay, so let's see. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. Now I'm going to get to what sold. I'm going to start out with what I think is the coolest item. It did not go for as much as I thought it should, because it is so cool. But I accepted an offer yesterday. We kind of, he threw out an offer. I've countered. He countered again. I countered again. I don't know the origin of this. I got it in a thrift store. I just think it's super cool. It's like a mask. It's like a wooden carving. I listed it. I wasn't even sure how to list it, but it is just unbelievably cool. Like the side profile is cool. This sold for $55. I think I had paid maybe $7 for it. I thought it would have gone closer to $100, to be honest with you. Can you imagine the work that had to go into this? But ultimately the market decides what it goes for. So I had it listed and I kept dropping the price, and yeah. So couple of like subliminal CDs, Success, Built to Last, and Power Thinking. I've got like, I think 14 different in this series. So I have like one listing that has multi-item listing. These two sold for $25. The customer was thinking about adding some more things to it. I told him I could do free shipping on any other books, CDs, DVDs, anything that can go media mail. He was really close. I almost had him, but ultimately he just stuck with the original purchase. $25 plus shipping. A couple patches sold. Dubrovnik. Oh my goodness. Dubrovnik, and I think they're both Dubrovnik. I thought one was Croatia, but actually I need to double check that actually. I will do that. That sold for $10. They're brand new. They're inside packages. It's sold, like, he made an offer for 5, so he was really trying to lowball. But they sold for I think it was like 14 all in for shipping and that. This DVD just sold, Neon Genesis Evangelion. I believe this is based on a manga, Japanese anime. This sold for $27. And some of really these are just off the top of my memory, but they're always going to be within $1 or $2. Sold this carousel robe hook. Probably paid 50 cents for this. Sold this for 12 bucks. No big deal. Let's see here. Sold some action figures. Some Fantastic Four action figures. I think all of them are in there. Yeah, all of them and the little robot. These went for $24 plus shipping. I bought like a massive bag. Actually, I bought like 4 like big baggies full at the thrift store. And when I bought them, I felt like I overpaid for them. I paid like $8 each for them. And there were like all these figures in there, all these weapons. And it turned out that so many of them actually had the original weapons with them. I still have more that I need to list. It's one of those death piles for me where I probably listed about 70, maybe 60% of them, and I still got maybe 30% more to do where I gotta kind of match up. It's just so time consuming trying to figure out which year, which like action figure line they're in, what weapons go with who. I don't know. I knew there was value there, and I knew it was hard to pass up. Because, like, for instance, this sold for $24, and this was probably only like 1/10 of what was in each bag. So, but I just don't like doing that. But like I said, it's hard for me to pass up when I see value. A couple offline sales today. I sold an IKEA door. Paid $8 for it. Sold it for $30. Was glad that it left. It was one of those situations where I just kept moving it around. It was kind of this thing that was taking up space in my area. I thought it was actually worth more than it was. Not complaining, I still made some money on it, but definitely should not have bought that. And then the other thing that I sold today was, it's like this little floaty toy that you put in a tub with like a 4 or 5-year-old, and it kind of just swims around. It was brand new in package. I don't even know why I bought it. I don't even remember where I bought it. And I'm actually surprised somebody paid $10 for this thing. Didn't even try to get it cheaper. Probably would have done $5. I was just glad for it to go, because it was one of those items that you can't really sell on eBay because it's a cheap item, and it's going to require it's kind of not worth it to even ship it. I've had that thing forever, so yeah, I mean, I'm glad that it's gone. I'm glad that it sold local. I can't believe someone was even searching this particular thing out. Or maybe they just were looking at my other items and saw that. And then the last thing that sold was this Maximum Rock and Roll magazine. I love selling these kind of old underground magazines. They have like interviews and ads. This sold for $10. I thought it could have gone for a little bit more, and the guy made an offer that was basically, there was only one that was a little bit higher. It was a little bit lower, but they had higher shipping, and I'm just like, you know what? Sales suck right now. Maybe I can get him to buy more magazines. He did not. So yeah. The only other thing I wanted to show you was, I had shown you this painting that I picked up at a church sale the other day. Pretty much paid nothing for it. It was one of those things where I already had my pile set, It was by donation. And then I looked over and I saw some art. I went over, picked out 3 pieces, and I asked, like, I already knew what I was going to donate, and I wasn't even sure if this art was included. Sorry. But it was. And so I basically, I listed this locally. Somebody messaged me yesterday. They said they want this. They offered me $30 for it. I go, I can do that. I have been buying more art lately. I'll show you this piece that I just got. I think it's pretty cool. It's really big. And I don't even know what it is. I had my eye on it at the thrift store, and it was 20 bucks. It's really big. It's like, I don't know. And then they had a sale where art was half off, so I picked it up for 10 bucks. It's by an artist named Melissa White, but I couldn't find anything from that artist, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think it's cool. I think someone will buy it. I did go garage sailing today. I was basically going out. I was picking up something free off of Marketplace. I don't know. I'll talk about that when I determine if there's any value there. I might just end up redonating some of it. But there were 2 garage sales that I kind of wanted to stop at, and then I wanted to know if my wife wanted to go for a hike after. And so we went to the one garage sale, and it was good. Like, it was like we were one of the very last ones there. Gone on for 2 days. Wait till I show you guys some of the stuff that I got. I don't know what people are thinking when they go to garage sales sometimes. Like, they're leaving and they're missing like really good stuff. Yeah, I got a pile here. Like, this is gonna be another video, like, to show you some of the stuff. Like, I found a couple books there that are like, one is like an easy $100 book. The other one might be the same. And then there's another thing that it kind of falls under that category too, where there is some nudity, so I'm not actually sure. I'm gonna have to contact eBay about this. But people list this item for anywhere between $150 and $450. I don't see any closed sales, but yeah, I'll talk about that more when I'm still evaluating. When I got home today, so basically my wife and I were like looking, and you know, we get there and she's like, this stuff is free. The stuff in the back, you know, it's not very much, and then there's some furniture inside. So we ended up buying like my wife got a table, a little kitchen kind of island thing. We literally had to. We filled up the car. I had to go meet a guy, and then we went to another garage sale, which I got like 1 or 2 things, and my wife got some things. And then we had to go back to our place to unload, and then go back to the first sale because we couldn't fit that kitchen island in. And then I ended up finding some more stuff. So I don't know, like sometimes I'm like one of the last people at a sale, and sometimes I find some remarkable, amazing things that people just overlook. Stuff that I think is super cool, stuff that has like value that I didn't even know has value. Yeah, it's good, and it's good to learn. It's good to you know, get home, do research on this stuff, and see that it does have value, so you know to look for it for the next time. So stay tuned for that video. I'm probably going to try, I'm going to process this video, package up the stuff that I just showed you. We might go out for a walk, and then I might list some more, and then if I have time, I might make another video. If not, I'll do that tomorrow. So take care, guys.